There are places on Earth that were never meant to return to human memory, places where history did not fade gradually but instead vanished in a single violent moment. Beneath the ocean's surface, far below the reach of sunlight and storms, entire chapters of civilizations still exist in silence. They do not announce themselves. They do not rise back to the surface. They wait, undisturbed, sealed away by time and water. What lies below us is not merely stone and sediment, but the remains of belief, fear, devotion, and hope. This is the story of an ancient Greek temple that once stood beneath open skies, that once echoed with voices and prayers, and that now rests in complete darkness beneath the sea, unchanged for more than 2,500 years. As the divers begin their descent, the world above them disappears almost immediately. The brightness of the surface collapses into a muted green, then into deeper shades where color itself seems to weaken. Sound becomes distant, replaced by the slow rhythm of breathing and the gentle hiss of released air. Particles float everywhere, suspended in the water like dust in an abandoned building, each one moving slowly, aimlessly, as if time itself has thickened. With every meter downward, the feeling of separation grows stronger. This is no longer the modern world. This is a descent into absence, into a place where human presence has not existed for centuries. At first, the seabed reveals nothing unusual. Rock formations, sand ripples, and scattered debris blend together in the limited visibility. Then, gradually, the divers' lights begin to reveal shapes that feel wrong in their precision. Lines appear that are too straight, edges that are too deliberate, surfaces that do not belong to nature. As the lights move closer, massive stone columns emerge from the darkness, lying on their sides, half buried in sediment. These are not broken rocks. These are Doric columns, carved by human hands, once standing upright as part of a sacred structure. Their fall was not gentle. Their collapse was sudden, violent, and final. This temple did not sink slowly into the sea. Geological evidence suggests that powerful earthquakes tore the land apart, destabilizing the coastline and dragging the sanctuary downward in a matter of moments. One day, it stood intact, its columns catching the sun, its walls painted with color, its interior alive with ritual. Then, without warning, the ground moved, the structure fractured, and the sea claimed everything. The worshippers never returned. The gods were never invoked again. The temple vanished from the world above and entered a long, uninterrupted silence below. Despite the destruction, the craftsmanship remains undeniable. The divers move slowly between fallen columns, observing fluted marble surfaces that still carry the marks of ancient tools. Algae and barnacles cling to the stone, yet they have not erased the symmetry, the proportion, or the intention behind the design. This place was built to last, to endure, and in an unexpected way, it has succeeded. The sea has not destroyed the temple. It has preserved it in a state of suspended decay, where nothing changes quickly and nothing moves without permission. As the divers advance deeper into the ruins, a familiar structure emerges from beneath the sand. An altar rises slowly into view, its top edge worn smooth by centuries of water movement. This was the heart of the temple, the focal point of worship and ritual. When sediment is carefully brushed aside, carved Greek inscriptions become visible. The letters are faded, their sharpness softened by time, but their presence is unmistakable. These stones once carried prayers spoken aloud to unseen gods. They absorbed whispered hopes, desperate pleas, and solemn promises. Every mark here was made with belief. At the base of the altar, scattered across the seabed, lie fragments of offerings. Broken pottery, corroded bronze objects, and small votive items remain exactly where they were placed. No currents have scattered them. No hands have disturbed them. These offerings were left with intention and never retrieved. The worshippers believed the gods had accepted them, and so they were abandoned to the sanctuary forever. The sea has honored that abandonment. Nothing has moved. Nearby, the divers encounter the remains of a marble statue. Only the torso remains, its arms and head lost either to the collapse or to centuries of erosion. Once, this figure would have represented a god or goddess, an embodiment of divine power meant to inspire awe and obedience. Now, it lies broken and incomplete, its surface scarred, its identity erased. Barnacles cover the chest where fine details once existed, and small fish drift calmly around it, unaware that this object was once sacred. In the beam of a flashlight, faint traces of gold leaf glimmer from cracks in the stone, stubborn remnants of a surface that once shone brilliantly. Even here, even now, the gold refuses to disappear entirely. Beyond the outer ruins, a collapsed doorway lies flat on the seabed, marking the entrance to the inner sanctuary. This was a restricted space, reserved for rituals that few were allowed to witness. Inside, the atmosphere feels different, heavier, more enclosed. Broken pottery shards litter the floor, their edges rounded by centuries underwater. Ceremonial vessels lie shattered where they fell, victims of the sudden collapse. Along one wall, a stone bench remains partially intact. This is where worshippers once sat in silence, waiting, listening, believing that the gods were present in the space around them. Above the bench, the ceiling has collapsed entirely. Massive stone blocks lie scattered across the interior, evidence of the moment when the earth shifted and the structure failed. Faint traces of pigment are visible in grooves and recesses, suggesting that these walls were once painted in vibrant colors. Red, blue, and gold once covered these stones, transforming the interior into a space meant to overwhelm the senses. Now, only hints remain, trapped beneath algae and erosion, barely visible to those who know where to look. The divers continue deeper, following a narrow corridor formed by fallen wall sections. The passage is unstable, forcing slow, careful movement. Carved reliefs appear along the walls, depicting mythological scenes that once told stories of gods, heroes, and monsters. Time and water have softened the details, but the figures are still recognizable. These myths were carved with the intention of permanence, yet even stone cannot fully resist the passage of centuries. The floor beneath the divers is uneven, collapsed in places, a reminder that this structure is fragile, not just physically but historically. One careless movement could erase details that have survived since antiquity. The corridor opens into another chamber, and at its center stands a cracked stone pedestal. It leans slightly, its surface fractured, but it remains upright. An idol once stood here, positioned to receive offerings and prayers. That idol is gone, but at the pedestal's base lie bronze coins, fused together by corrosion. These coins were left intentionally, offerings meant to secure favor or protection. Their markings are almost illegible now, yet their meaning is unmistakable. Faith endured here long after the temple itself collapsed. A partially collapsed slab along the chamber wall reveals something unexpected, a narrow hidden passage. This side chamber would have been known only to temple priests, a space reserved for sacred storage or private rituals. Inside, a stone chest rests against the wall, its lid broken, its contents scattered. Corroded bronze fragments and mineral-stained sediment fill its interior. These were ritual items, stored carefully and never retrieved. The floor beneath the chest is covered with cracked marble tiles etched with symbols. When algae is gently brushed aside, worn Greek letters briefly emerge before the sediment settles again. Writing survives here not because it was protected, but because it was forgotten. In one corner of the chamber, a small marble figurine lies face down. Its features are eroded beyond recognition, its identity lost to time. This object once held meaning, perhaps deeply personal to the one who placed it here. Now it is anonymous, stripped of context, yet still present. Time has erased its story, but not its existence. Stone remembers even when people forget. Eventually, the divers begin their withdrawal. They move slowly, retracing their path through chambers of silence and shadow. They pass the pedestal and its offerings, the corridor with its carved myths, the inner sanctuary with its shattered vessels. Light filters down through a collapsed opening, illuminating drifting particles and reminding them that the surface still exists above. As they return to the outer sanctuary, the altar, columns, and statue remains appear once more, unchanged and unmoving, as if they have been waiting. At the edge of the ruins, stone gives way to sand, and the temple begins to dissolve into the open seabed. The divers pause and turn back, watching as the sanctuary fades into darkness. The outlines of columns blur, the altar disappears, and the final traces of architecture vanish into the murk. The ascent begins, and with it comes a slow return to the modern world. The divers rise through open water as the temple disappears completely beneath them. As sunlight grows stronger and the water brightens, the weight of the depths begins to lift. When the divers finally break the surface, the sea appears calm and ordinary, offering no indication of what lies hidden below. Beneath them, the ancient Greek temple remains exactly where it has rested for centuries, silent, untouched, and forgotten by the world above. It stands as a reminder that civilizations can fall, landscapes can change, and belief systems can vanish, yet history does not disappear. It waits, preserved in darkness, until someone descends far enough to listen. Beneath the waves, time is not gone. It is only sleeping.